Welcome to Author Skill Set Wednesday. And today's quote comes from Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, "An ounce of action is worth a ton of theory." So very, very true, isn't it? Hi there, my name is Christopher Diarmani, and I help authors go from blank page to finished first draft to published book with ease. And one of the skills that I help authors develop is that skill of determination, of taking that immediate imperfect action as opposed to trying to make everything perfect or or even worse, waiting until everything's perfect, because nothing's ever going to be, right? So with that, let's get this party rolling. So one of the things that I love to talk about is that taking action, no matter how imperfect it may feel in the moment, is always the best thing to do. It's going to trump theory every single time. And it's only by taking action every single day that you're going to learn where you can improve, that where you can figure out new ways of succeeding and how you will actually finally get your book written and published. If you don't do these things every single day, your book can't get completed. It's as simple as that. So I'm a huge fan, as you probably already know, of writing daily, building that daily writing habit, because, that single act every single day is the thing that's going to do whatever the theory can't. In theory, you know what to do, but it's not until you put those things into practice by doing them every single day that all of these amazing dreams can come true, right? So, to put it simply, to write and publish your book, you must do the simple thing. You must do the boring thing, the mundane thing. I'm sure you can guess what that might be, right? You need to write. And you need to write every single day. That's how you get a book done. There is no other way. That's what you have to do. Your published book boils down to doing this single action every single day until you're done. That's it. Now, the easiest and simplest way to start each of these daily writing sessions, of course, is, drum roll please, to just start. Don't let your mind play all kinds of crazy games with you. Don't get caught up in the procrastination of, well, if only this was in place first, then I could do X. Those are just lies that are trying to stop you from doing the thing you know you need to do, right? So don't fall for those mental games. Be diligent. Make sure that you pay attention to just doing the one thing that's in front of you right now. So if it's your appointed hour to be writing today, then sit down and write. Don't get caught up in all the other craziness. Imperfect action truly is the key. No matter where you are in the writing process, imperfect action every single day is the key. No matter how impossible it feels in this moment, imperfect action right now, today, is the thing that's going to help get your book finished, right? So another thing I really need you to pay attention to is the fact that no matter how many years or decades you spend on your book, it will never be perfect. Not ever. Human beings are not capable of perfection. That's probably the one and only limitation we truly have, is we're not capable of being perfect. Even the most amazing basketball player in history, Michael Jordan, missed a lot of game-winning shots, right? When it came down to the wire. He used that as a fuel to fire him to move forward. So do what's put in front of you to do right now. Write. Simple. When your first draft is complete, then revise it. Doing this by the same process, taking one little piece, one day at a time, and improving one section of your book each day until it's done. And when you're done that first editing pass, then do it again. Because in the process of doing all of this stuff, step by step, you're going to see things that on the second pass you missed in the first pass, or new ways that you could probably restate this sentence that are simply better, that you hadn't thought of until you've gotten through to this point. And then when you're done the second pass, then do it a third time. Because this is what I would like to call that 80% rule, where we're going to get this thing 80% perfect on the first draft, and we're going to take that first draft and improve it by another 80%. 80% of the 20 of what's left, right? So just keep the continual improvement, so that by the time you're done 3 rounds of editing, your book is probably pretty close to being awesome, if it's not awesome already. Now, that doesn't mean you don't want to send it out to a professional editor for some fine-tuning. But at this point, your work is probably done, minus whatever notes come back from the editor. But that's really all there is to it. And so once you're at that point, if you're still unwilling to publish your book, then there's probably a couple of questions you really need to ask yourself. Number one is, what are you so afraid of? What is the fear that's stopping you from publishing the book that you've now spent all of this time on, writing, editing, polishing to make it this little beautiful gem that you want to put out in the world? What's the fear that's holding you back? Deal with those fears in whatever way is best for you. Just the point is, you need to move them out of the way so you can do the thing you know you're supposed to do. Because until you do, you won't be able to make the impact in the world you know you were born to make. You won't know how to become the person you're meant to be overall, right? Because until you do all these things, and until this thing gets out into the world, you're not going to have the feedback that's going to help you improve it for the next time. So I always encourage you to employ courage. Oh my goodness. Employ courage, because it truly is the antidote to fear. Same with gratitude, love, joy, and compassion. So if you're still feeling fearful, I want to ask you, what is the worst thing that can possibly happen to you if you publish your book as it is right in this moment? What's the absolute worst thing that can happen? And it's not the negative reviews. It's not that someone's not going to like it. Your worst fear is probably that nobody's going to read your book. So here's the hard truth I want you to face. Nobody's reading your book right now. You're already living your worst fear. So given that that's the state, why is there anything holding you back now? There shouldn't be, I would hope. I would hope you take this into account and simply realize that fear is just a thing that's stopping you from literally making the impact you were born to make in this world. So take the leap of faith, because here's what's going to happen. The same thing is going to happen to you that happened to me when I published my first book. I was terrified because I didn't know how it was going to be received. And yet what happened is I got glowing reviews almost immediately from people I'd never heard of. It's not like I said, hey, Frank, can you please go review my book for me? I didn't. That's going to happen for you as well. So this is all what's in store for you if you just have the courage to face down those fears and do the thing that's put in front of you to do right now. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that's opened a door or two of possibility for you. And if that's the case, of course, I would love for you to share it and like it on all the social media channels. And if there was something that's truly struck out at you, something that truly sort of blew your mind, I would love for you to share that in the comments as well. Because if something jumped out at you, my bet is that it's the same thing, the same passage jumped out to someone else as well. And your sharing that in the comments is going to make them more courageous so that they can maybe do that sometime in the future. We're all here to help each other out, right? And it's all these small little actions that make that happen. Of course, I would also love for you to connect with me on LinkedIn, on all the social media channels, and all of mine can be found at sleekbio.com/Christopher. So with that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And please, if you do nothing else today, take 1 hour of imperfect action on moving your book forward in whatever way that takes form today. All the thinking about it, all the planning, all the theorizing is not going to get the job done. You need to sit down, put your hands on the keyboard, and do the simple and yet hard thing. You need to write. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Bye for now.